Regina Tarány, also from IMC University of Applied Sciences, Krems, Austria. Regina, come on up. Hang on to this, but we're going to play your video first, and then we'll have you speak.
Hello, how can I help you?
Well, we would like to book a treatment.
We have this brochure already here.
Do you have something shorter? I haven't done so much since the university.
Well, I can tell you what treatment contains, and then you can choose. For example, the first one is... What kind of treatment do you prefer, by the way?
Well, I still don't know, I have to choose one. You know what? Thank you. I will just bring this and try to choose something. Thank you. It's the last day and I still haven't chosen any treatments. I don't know what to do. It's so complicated and I really have to choose one.
Come on, choose one.
Yeah, but...
I always have these problems with booking. Every spa wants you to book at least 3 days prior to the treatment.
That's my problem.
Hello, welcome to Harmony Spa. How can I help you?
We would like to book a treatment.
Well, I can offer you to read our brochures, or you can try to use our new treat advisor.
Wow, what is this?
Well, it helps you to choose the right treatment for you. It's really easy
So
and quick.
cool. Okay, they have English. Please touch the screen to find the best treatment for you. I feel this pain in my back, because of the stress.
Then this one?
Yeah, hopefully. Well, I'm finished. Your treatment is acupressure with Clara at 1 o'clock. Please arrive to the reception 10 minutes prior to the appointment. Have a pleasant journey. That's so cool.
It's really cool.
Okay, so it's booked and everything?
Yes, everything is done. Do you enjoy the process of choosing
Yes,
your treatment?
it's so easy and so cool.
And now we have extra time for coffee. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go to coffee. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, Regina, you have a minute to say something to the sharks before they start asking you questions. Come right into the center there. Thank you.
Thank you. We realized that everything is getting digitalized, going on the internet today. Everything is getting computer supported. And we realized that there is a screaming gap in the supply chain when selling treatments regarding the technologies. Imagine a system that sells by itself. So guests come to the hotel and they don't know what they want, they don't know what they expect, but they expect us to know what they want exactly. So why don't just ask them and guide them through their decision-making process by Treat Advisor? They can choose treatments, they can choose their appointment with Treat Advisor, they can choose their therapist. You can offer them bonuses for the least popular hours of the day. You can offer them packages. It's all about upselling, and this is what this industry is about. With Treat Advisor everywhere in the hotel, you can increase your capture rate and you can increase your occupancy rate also. Thank you.
Terrific. Okay. Questions?
Very nice presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
So my question is, this is, I think, a great concept. To me, today's consumer does want to self-explore, and be it when they get to the spa or online when they're booking their journey. So I'm just curious, have you thought about this as, because I saw some booking where there were some open time slots. Are you thinking of integrating that with the booking system so that you provide sort of the front end with all the sort of content management and understanding of that booking journey or the self-discovery of the treatments, and then hooking it into existing systems? Or are you looking at actually doing the booking as well?
Well, we thought about that it could do the booking itself. So it could be connected to the hotel's internal system and do the booking as the guests are using their card or watch in the spa or in the hotel.
My point to you, and like to hear your comments, are, the ability to work with hotels and resorts and integrate with their property management systems. It's a very complex things. We've been working at it for over a decade, and I still feel like we're still a startup. So I just my sort of perspective on it would be, you have a real choice there. I think you could help a lot of software companies in making their booking systems more approachable, but then trying to do all of the back end, that's a very daunting task. All of the building those relationships with hotel brands or with independents. So I think you have a real question there in terms of, do you integrate with other systems or do you try to build it yourself with the back end? So just curious.
We were planning to build it ourselves. So it's a completely independent system that is going to be happening.
Great.
Cost to build and how much you would charge an end user for your proprietary software?
Well, it depends on the features that they want to integrate in the program, because we were thinking about feedbacks also. So also how much of the hardware you want to integrate in your hotel or spa. You can have it in front of the elevators, you can have it in front of the breakfast hall, you can have it in the spa itself, you can have it anywhere basically. It can also be connected with the televisions in the room, the booking system of the hotel, the reception, the spa reception. So it's really hard to say, really hard to tell. But actually, it's the cost of the development of the software, the base software, plus to individualize it to the hotel itself or the spa itself, and then the amount of the hardware themselves.
Brace yourself. So have you done a business plan if you don't know what your cost to develop is?
Well, it's in the planning stage. We are already discussing with software or application developers, to be exact. But it would be an amount, a fixed amount in the beginning. And if there is a turnover that we guarantee, then we would ask for a different percentage from the profit that they are gaining from the system itself. So I cannot say exact figures, obviously.
But maybe you should, right? You're coming and asking us for investment, and you can't tell us what the requirement for funding to get the idea off the ground is.
Well, to develop the software itself would be, as far as I know, would be at least 4,000 or 5,000, but that would be just the for our cost, And there would have a spine system, and we would develop that further individually for the hotel. So it would be not much additional work, but we have to do. But we have to discuss with the hotel, and we have to. It depends on their treatments that they want to offer, for example. Because if they just want to have like 10 or 12 base treatments, massages, and for 3-star spas or something, or they are a luxury spa with, I don't know, like 30 different kind of treatments. It just depends. We just have to negotiate in the coffee break, maybe.
I believe that's an offer.
On a very practical level, I think there are aspects of what you suggested which are really interesting. However, if you look at you touched on the concept of customization for each property. You mentioned a hotel spa. I run a destination retreat with 200 different services on the menu. Okay. There are very important questions.
Cost a little bit more.
It will cost a little more, I'm sure. But there are very important questions around the sort of decision tree that goes with booking treatments about the sequencing. You do not want to do a colonic immediately before a water-based treatment, as one example. And there are also contraindications. Perhaps you could just explain a little bit about how your system would address those.
Well, honestly, it's a really good question. It's the hardest thing to do because this is the whole thing that is about. the system of the treatments, how it's suggested through steps technologically to the guest, what kind of questions is to be asked and what kind of answers would then end up in the suggestions of those three treatments. Well, that is really hard, that we would have to work together a lot. And obviously we have the shame of the general treatments. For example, thalassotherapy have maybe different kinds, or a cosmetical whatever treatment has a base and then has extra features. And depending on the answers of the guest would suggest the program, the special feature extra. But it's hard. I would need a software developer. I cannot do it myself.
Would you see this system as a standalone system? So whatever comes out of it, I will book it? Or is there an additional advice from a human being as well? Doing a bit of an upsell and yeah, giving this personal touch, I think everybody's looking for when he's going to a spa.
Well, your question is that you could just by itself, the software, could you book as a guest the treatment and you don't have to have in contact with the staff, right?
Yeah, but
yeah.
Will I have contact with staff if I want?
Sorry?
Will I have contact with any kind of staff when I want?
Yeah, obviously there would be the spa reception. You can go to the spa reception whenever you want. And you can also, it's also good for informating the guest. So giving them information so they don't have to book in the end. They can just cancel the whole process. They just want to check, well, I have a back pain, I'm stressed, and this is what the program suggests, and then you can go down to the reception and have a feedback if it's really working, you know. You need to have a reception, obviously, because people are still afraid of getting completely computerized. They need human touch and human contact, also, obviously, in spas.
Yeah, I think that's a very valid point. I mean, it's a good groundwork for the staff to get very good information from the client, but at the end of the day, it's the personal thing which makes the sale and which yeah, gets people into treatments. Thanks.
Obviously, and sorry, you can have 2 different or several different kinds of the program that gives you a booking right away, or it can suggest you the treatment itself and then advise you to go down to the reception and book this treatment in the end. It depends on your budget, how much you want to invest, and we would have to put this thing on the software that can book, and we have to connect with the hotel. If you don't want to connect with us, with our system, then you don't have to.
Okay, we are out of time, unless there's one last comment from anyone. Tracy, did you want to say something?
Really quickly, if you don't mind. I think you've identified something really important in the industry, which is that people have difficulty choosing treatments. And our menus are as big as you showed, very comically. But I think that there could be an opportunity for you to narrow down your business plan into producing, perhaps I'm repeating myself, but an app or a platform that allows people to make their selections, educate them about what treatments do for them, perhaps to go down that, as you say, decision tree, to say, these are my ailments, this is what I need, and to monetize that first, rather than going right into the technology. I think there might be a middle ground for you to consider first of all. Mm-hmm. I'll leave that as a thought with you.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Regina. And thank you, Sharks.